Alright, you clicked this video because you wanted to know what the best fruits are in GPO Update 8. And I've been motivated to do this tier list because I've seen so many in YouTube and social media that actually are pretty garbage. So let's actually make a tier list of my own, and hopefully it isn't garbage. Alright, so first off, where's Suke? I don't see it. Ah, right, because it's Suke. Oh, there it is. D tier. Of course, it's Suke. Why would you eat this? Why? Spin? Even worse. Just don't. It has a good PvP combo, I think, and that's it. And it got nerfed. So it used to be even more crazier, but nerfed to the ground. And I think what they did nerf was the scaling, the damage scaling, so. And why would you eat this anyway? It doesn't really do anything. If you're fighting multiple NPCs, you can't do anything about it. Now for PvP, I guess it is sort of pretty good, but you can basically achieve the same thing with 2 sword style. You don't need it. Don't eat it. I'd rather go fruitless than eat this. Now next, where is it? Kilo. Why? No, don't. Suke is the best common out of these 3. Simply because Suke makes you invisible. And I guess that, and in BR, it has its uses. But I don't play BR. I don't care about BR. Alright, now for the rares. Rares. I'd say the worst one from the rares. Well, we all know Gomu is pretty good because of Gear 2 now. But Bomu is still more useful because of its AoE and its dash. It's explosive mines that you can probably cheese some NPCs with. The ultimate is goated. Absolutely disastrous ult. you see that ult charging, you die. And then Gomu here, you see that gear 2nd now, you die. So these are probably the top best rare fruits. Then we have Barty. Barty has that good AoE, and you can put all points into Barty to do 80 damage wall. I've used it, it was pretty fun. You can trap bosses for your friends to destroy. You can trap other people in BR and make basically a coliseum. It's pretty useful. And it has the stairs, so you can just climb anything you want, honestly. Then we have Mara. Don't eat it. It's just for PvP. It's just stun for PvP. That's it. For NPCs and stuff, meh. Even with all points into it, it's still pretty meh. I guess it does more damage than Bari, but nah, it's not that good. I guess it's good for AFK grinding in the early stages, but no. No. That actually was my first fruit when I played GPO. I wanted to change immediately. Not because it was like pink and looked pretty feminine or anything, no, it's just I didn't like it. But Bari, actually one of my favorite rare, even if these are better. Alright, next, right, horror. Well, actually, it has more use than Mara. For like PvP, I mean PvE. Because Mara, of course, it's PvP oriented. But horror, it has its uses. It has the funny 1000 damage ghost barrage that you can do if you put everything into horror. And that's about it. It has pretty good combo potential as well for PvP. And I've heard you can solo dungeons with it. Not really sure. Probably got nerfed. Classic for you. And who's next? Or is that all the rares? I think that's all the rares. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. Alright. So, moving on to the epic rarity. Yomi is pretty good. Pretty good. And that's all about. That's basically it. It's good. It's okay. You can revive. Not very useful in PvP. I mean PvE. But in PvP, it definitely is. It's like having 3 stocks. Actually, no, 4 stocks, because you can activate it once on both deaths. But it got nerfed recently. It went down hard. Actually, yeah, it's good and all, but Bomb was still better for farming. Honestly, honestly. Yeah, Gear 2. I just remembered Gear 2. Yeah, Yomi is not that good anymore. And you can jump most of the combos now. But it's still pretty good for PvP if you're into that. And you can walk on water. That's it. You probably have this because somebody dropped it. And now Spring. It's okay. Another PvP oriented fruit. You're not gonna use this for PvE. I mean, I guess it could work with bosses, but if you have to fight a wave of NPCs, you're dead. Alright, so now finally, legendary fruit. Oh wait, I forgot about this. Hold up. Healing fruit. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't used it much, but I'm gonna assume that since it's healing focused, I'm gonna put it somewhere between over here, probably. Where's rare? I don't know. I haven't seen. I haven't even seen the showcase, honestly. I'm just gonna assume it's somewhere around these rares. Definitely not better than Gomu. Definitely not better than Spring, Yomi. It could be better than Bari. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it at the back because I assume it's healing stuff. You know, healing fruit, not damage. Alright, next. Alright, so sushi. It was broken for like couple GPO updates, and then this update they finally put the nail in the coffin and nerfed it to the ground. It's still usable, of course, but it is honestly I'd rather eat Bomo. Nah. Sushi's still better than Bomo for like general wise, because Bomo is limited because you can't really chip farm, and the mobility for sushi lets you fly and use moves while flying. Guard breaks everywhere I go with sushi. The pull, it's more useful than Bomo, I'd say. Around there somewhere. Also, I'd say it is still more useful than Gomu V2. I mean, Gear 2. Maybe Gear 2 has the advantage in PvP, sort of now. But Sushi's still absolutely good and decent. It was nerfed to the ground, basically. They ripped, but it's still very decent. That you can't really make that fruit more balanced than it is right now. If you do, then you got it. Alright, next fruit. Guess I'll have to give it to Hiei. Hiei got nerfed pretty bad with an Ice Stomp being no longer a guard break. And that was pretty big. And right now, Ice Bag is back to the top of the best mobility move. But that Ice Stomp is a big game changer. The move is sort of slow and you kinda can see it coming. But you can do your Pheasant Beak, I believe it is. I think so. And that will combo into whatever else you want, so I'm pretty sure you can use Ice Stomp. But you can no longer just do Ice Stomp raw from unexpected. And what's next? Oh, I forgot to Ito. Yeah, Ito. It has no AoE, only PvP oriented. I honestly do not care about PvP. If you're probably watching this tier list because you want a fruit that you actually want to use in the main game. Something that actually makes grinding easier, which is the bad part of GPO. The slow as grinding at the moment, at the start, the very, very start, it is the most boring part of the game. You want to get to the end game as fast as possible. So these fruits will definitely not help you get there as fast as possible as the other fruits that I'm about to rank. Paw, I forgot to rank Paw, but I heard they got pretty nerfed pretty bad. can no longer be used for bounty hunting because you can only now teleport your party members. I'd say this is above Pommel, yeah. Pommel's ult is so much better than Paw's, but Paw has a lot of barrages, it has block breaks, and it has good mobility, which is a dash, a teleport dash, and its ult is pretty good, and it's huge as well. Of course, Bomu's gimmicks is to one-shot dungeons NPCs, but guess what? Recent update made dungeons obsolete, completely worthless. So Bomu is not that good anymore. You could say Ito's mobility is really good, and the recent buff they did to its ultimate, which was needed, but it's still Ito. It has absolutely zero AoE, only that one fire string that guard breaks, and the other. It's a PvP fruit, mainly PvP. What else? Gura. Gura is really good. Recent buff made it absolutely broken, and I don't understand why nobody's complaining. It is busted. The grab now sends you into the new effect where you get grounded and you're dizzy. Instead of launching you into the air, where the guy could just punch you with Gura punch or do anything else, now it just confirms into M1s, so it's a combo extender. And you can do M1, 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 grab, M1, 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 into whatever else you want. Alright, next, Suna. Suna, well, it's PvP oriented. Actually, I'd say Gura is better than Suna. Suna's only job is to use, what's the name? The sand line. The sand line, you know, when he punches the ground and makes like a line of sand that blows up then. I forgot. I don't use Suna, so I wouldn't know. Well, yeah. That's its only job, is to do that at the slime core in the new raid factory. In the new factory raid, I said it backwards. And probably also grind Krakens, but that is also useless now in update 8 because we have raids and we have the Colosseum raid. And then we're going into the big boys now. This one's gonna be hard. So we have Goro. Goro is the most fun fruit I've ever used. It is so fun. And now that they finally fixed lightning paralyzation, you can finally do your up tilt combo into paralyzation, into M1s or whatever. Before, this was considered absolutely broken, but you can see the state of current GPO that you have things like Mochi's Ken Haki or Yami's no startup, all combo extender moves. That thank God they nerfed it a little bit, but I still think it's not enough. Goro is absolutely fun. You should try it, and it's so fun. It's just fun. Okay. Oh, I forgot about Kage. Get that garbage out of there. Kage is stamina consuming. It is not that good. The mobility it's okay, I guess, but it's nothing crazy. The moves are very point and click, which means you need to aim them properly, or else you'll miss. You can't really do them in shift lock, or else you'll probably miss. Then you have your ult, which is probably the only good move you have, and that is very stamina consuming. But the ult is pretty good for when you have it, I guess, because I guess you can solo dungeons with it, sort of, almost. It's not really that guaranteed to solo. It's more of like can I AFK for 20 minutes and then check on your mimic tier. But no, it's really bad. If you want to eat this, it is probably because you wanted this fruit for some reason. Or Mori is your favorite character or something like that. Same goes for the other ones. You don't want to eat those. You know what? I should move sushi up here. Yeah, there we go. A little bit more organized. Goro, really good. Next we have. Oh, these are all very good fruits. Oh, I need to think. Uh, Tori. And you know what? I'm putting Tori as bottom A tier. Tori is not fun for, at least for me. It is not fun. You have to rely on your bar, whatever now, and it's stamina consuming because it's a percent based stamina. I don't know if they changed that with the bar. Honestly, haven't tried the fruit. And the rework, according to what people are saying, it made it slightly worse because it doesn't have the triple projectile thing, I think, or maybe it does. Well, I haven't seen one do the triple projectile, which was one of the things that was actually broken. It did 334 damage with a bunch of points into Tori. The heal has been nerfed so many times. It's still pretty broken. What else? Oh, the new mechanic where you get hit and you heal. It also uses your stamina unwillingly, so if you didn't want to use stamina, it's gonna use your stamina. Or so I've heard. You know, I haven't really used the fruit. Don't really care about it, and I wouldn't eat it. Worst mythical out of the 4. Straight up. That's why it's worth like 6 chests right now. You can get it for pocket change. Now next, I think I'll put Yuki. Yuki, absolutely busted, or so I thought, because they nerfed it this update. And I don't remember what the patch notes said, but I think they nerfed its damage scaling for the ultimate, which is really crazy. It did 800 damage. In a economy where we have Mochi doing 200 damage per ult, that was crazy. And you had to put like 545 points, which was the cap I think for Yuki. And that is so low for having max damage on all moves. The mobility on Yuki is interesting, not the best. The turret is absolutely disgusting. It's such a strategic move you can use. Like you can place it down, make them block, and do whatever you want with their block. Break it, not break it, go behind them. But Yuki, it was really fun when I ate it. For bosses, it was really good. It was pretty fun fruit, and it's a Logi as well. But doesn't hold to a candle. It does not hold a candle to the next fruits I'm gonna rank. Oh, next fruit, Yummy. I hate this fruit with passion. When it first came out, and I saw it in Arena, I wanted this fruit to be nerfed instantly. You have multiple 2-hour moves that combo extend into your other combo extender, into your other combo extender. And on top of that, they have super armor. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Super armor that makes it basically impossible to cancel. Also remember that all of these moves are multi-hit moves, meaning you cannot parry them. If you parry them, you will be the one punished. And the super armor, yep, they have pretty long reach. For example, the Yami pool. I think it's basically sushi pool, but better with super armor. Slightly shorter range. And then it leads into M1s, which then those M1s lead to whatever you want, honestly. That fruit was disgusting. They nerfed the super armor on some of its moves, or maybe only one. And they increased the damage of the ult, which was doing Mochi ult damage. It's still pretty okay, I guess. They also buff its flight, if I remember correctly. They made it so that it no longer scales with your health, the speed. Or so I heard, or I think. I don't remember. I don't care. I wouldn't eat this fruit because it is really stamina consuming. And if you're fighting with your friend on the main game where the debuffs from your regen and stamina do not apply, you will be the first one to run out of stamina because of this fruit. Alright, next is Magu. No? Okay, Magu. I hate this fruit. It is too slow for my liking. It is a parry trainer, like I call it. You throw out your move, it gets parried. Eruption is okay, I guess, but if I'm, a normal player, a normal, good, focused player, will understand that you're trying to fish for your eruption and will press spacebar and it's over. You're dead. They will also see that you're using Trident and they'll know immediately what you're trying to do. It's gonna get shut down. This fruit is basically the Ganondorf of GPO. If Ganondorf was in Smash Ultimate. I don't I don't like this fruit. I tried it. At first when I got it, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be so good. But no, it's too slow. And it basically has two moves that are exactly the same thing. One is just more annoying because it makes a sound. The ult though is very crazy. With an absurd amount of points into the fruit, you can do around 66 damage, maybe, if you have the immortal title like I do. It's crazy for bosses. But eh, everything else is just eh. Also, the bosses that this is good for is Krakens and big bosses that don't take knockback. Because on normal 1v1s, you use your ult, you're gonna waste it. They're gonna block it, they're gonna Geppo around, you're gonna miss, and it's not gonna break their block because everyone's running 2000 health or more in arena. Also, for bosses that are small or have the same size as a player, you'll just knock them away and barely hit 75%. You'll miss 75% of it. Only hit like 20% or lower. Alright, now for the big dogs. Mera, I'd say it is simply better than Magu. But Magu does so much more damage. I do not care. Mera has fireflies. Basically a 200 damage guaranteed projectile that makes dungeons baby easy. And I say guaranteed because you can do M1s into up tilt into fireflies. And after that you're kinda gonna get punished, but you did 200 damage, which is basically what Magu Eruption does in 2 seconds, and you have to really time that eruption or else somebody will get jumped. Or somebody else will get jumped. I mean, somebody will jump your eruption. Mera, it has Flame Pillar. I believe Flame Pillar is just the most broken move in GPO. With an insane amount of points into Mera, you get a 70 damage per tick Flame Pillar that does around 675 damage in total. That's basically an ult. That's basically Goro's ult, but in a move that takes almost no stamina. 75 stamina to be specific. And only the cooldown is like 6 seconds or 7. It's something short and absurd like that. I hated this move. After I told you that my first fruit was Mero, the rare one. And then after Mero, I ate Gura. My friend had Mera since the beginning of time, and I always complained about his Mera because it was just, I couldn't do anything about it. But it was simply because I didn't know the importance of M1s in fights. But now I do. So Gura folds Mera in a 1v1. But Mera is excellent for absolutely everything. Mera is a fruit you would want to go for if you're a solo player. If you play alone, you don't have any friends. So I say solo player because Mera has basically the entire kit you would need to farm everything, do PvP, dungeons, best fruit for dungeons, Krakens as well is pretty good because the ult does max damage without having to charge it. Flame Pillar is absolutely disgusting. Fireflies I have almost unlimited range, and they buffed them this update because the fruit needed it, I guess, and they made them faster. Alright, now the top dogs. The very top dogs. Pika. Pika is... Wait, what am I doing? Am I insane? Hell no, hell no. There we go. Pika is... boring. It was my dream fruit when I got it. I was so excited. My friends, they traded almost their life savings for this just so that I could complain about this fruit. This fruit The problem is that it is stamina consuming. And if only the moves are actually worth it, worth the stamina cost. For example, Mirror Kick, it uses like 95 stamina and it does only 85. Sure, you could say it's a guard break, but have you seen the startup on it? you, you, you can see it coming. It's so slow. I call this fruit the true parry trainer. Pika Kick, parried. Light Lunge, everyone knows how to parry that if you don't actually hold it. And Mirror Kick is so easy to parry as well. Then you have the only good thing, Laser, Pika Laser. That's the only thing you'll be using for bosses. Because if you keep spamming all your other moves while your Pika Laser is on cooldown, you're gonna run out of stamina, then you won't be able to use Pika Laser, blah 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 blah. Okay, this fruit is pretty decent for PvP, and it actually got above this update, which I was hoping for because this fruit is garbage, in my opinion. This is not, of course, this fruit is the best for PvE, but it's only PvE. PvP, it's kinda meh. For fighting bosses in the Coliseum, it's okay, I guess, but if you don't have your friends being coordinated, doing their tasks like Among Us, then you will most likely die in the Coliseum and get gripped for all your bounty. Now we have OP. OP, I put it in A and not in S tier, because OP is, it's decent, okay? Gamma Knife is absolutely broken in the main game, especially for PvP in the main game only, because in the Coliseum or in Arena, you're gonna have those stat debuffs and you're gonna run out of stamina if you keep spamming your moves. Your ultimate, you're only gonna get it after 2 hours of M1ing, and it's not that good for PvE, but it does have the rocks. The rocks are absurd. You know what the rocks do? They do like 2,300 damage or something, man. If they all hit, of course. Wait, was it really 2,000? No, it was like 700 or something. It's a lot of damage. It's 34 damage per rock if you put everything into OP, like my friend. It has a bunch of combo extenders that it doesn't need. It does need, but I really don't like them. It has Gamma Knife, which is broken because after Gamma Knife, you can Gamma Knife, you'll be stunned, and you can do M1, M1, M1 into Counter Shock, into M1, 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 and you're probably dead by that. If you have all points into OP, right? And last but not least, Venom and Mochi. Mochi is S tier because it can do dungeons. It can chip farm, sort of, but you no longer want to chip farm now because that is obsolete with the current update. Mochi can PvP very well, and it works so well with like a fruit build, like just max points into Mochi. It works so well. And Ken Haki for Mochi is absolutely absurd, broken, ridiculous, clownish behavior even. It is absolutely broken. And it's so broken that I guess it balances out with how difficult it is to get that stupid Osu minigame you have to play. Let's say I just couldn't do it for 2 months straight. Nah, it took me like 2 weeks of non-stop playing that garbage. And then Venom, undisputed best PvE fruit. You could go as far as to say it is also the best PvP fruit, because if you put all points into Venom, not only you get a projectile that does 100 damage with 30 damage of poison, but it also guard breaks and has a cooldown of like 4 seconds. You also get Venom Hydra that does 1 billion damage with all points into Venom. You get a bunch of other guard breaks. You get that one poison move that you basically make your opponent play like if they were a projectile based character, because they cannot approach at all. It's absolutely broken. And don't get me started on the mode. The mode is absolutely busted for bosses. Busted for dungeons, busted for PvP. You pop that mode with all into fruit in a PvP match. That guy is not lasting 3 seconds. Okay, he is not lasting 3 seconds. Not even that. It's crazy. My friend, my other friend, has Venom, and he just does like 2 moves, and I'm already below health, below half. It's crazy. He, of course, I mainly speak of mostly fruit builds. That is it for my tier list. If you see any inconsistency on this tier list, perhaps let me know why you think the fruit should deserve a higher or lower spot. But this is what I think of the current fruit meta in GPO. I main Mochi now. I've tried every single fruit here except for Paw. No, I've tried Paw. I remember now. Yeah, I tried Paw. I don't think I have tried. Uh, hmm. But of course, healing fruit and Tori. Those are the only fruits I haven't tried in this game. Because there was a time when I was playing GPO where I dark rooted my Pika and kinda went to Gomu and hated it. And I was then rushing to try all the rare fruits before I could eat a Logia and then not be able to change back. But now that today's GPO economy is absolutely broken and unstable, but easy, it is so easy to get fruits now compared to back then. Now you can trade one Venom for 2 all-seeing eyes, $400 worth of items. OP is actually higher value than Venom for some reason. I am still trying to figure that one out. I guess it's because, I don't know, Kikoku? Actually, Kikoku is higher value than OP. Which I find pretty funny that a sword that has 3 moves and they're not really that crazy. Just because it's 1%. Well, that is it. Let me stop elongating the video longer. Here is your tier list. And hopefully you actually agree with this tier list. See ya.